All right. I have sound, so that's always good. Let's see. Okay, so that should all be working now. So thank you for joining me on this Thursday night Facebook Live. My name is Christy Hillock with CJ Card Creations. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Salt Lake City. Hey, Mom, thanks for being here. So, yeah, just it's Thursday, it's summer, and it's 100 degrees outside right now, and it was windy today, and I'm ready for my kids to go back to school. So that's how things are going here. Hopefully, you guys are having at least a little more fun than that. Regardless, I appreciate you being here, and I'm grateful for you, whether you're catching me live or on the replay. And I always try to forget to tell you this, but if you like and share, and then make sure on this video you comment that you did share. Hey, Janie. Hey, Sarah. Thank you guys for joining me. Then I will put you in a drawing for a prize. And I've got 2 weeks worth. Oh, I'm so glad that my son is not in bed. So I'm glad you're watching him, Sarah. Thank you. So yeah, I've got 2 weeks worth of prizes to give out. So I'll get to those in just a second. Couple other things. I will be sending out information in next week's email about my product shares. So that's where you get a little bit of everything coming from the new July to December mini catalog. So all the paper or all the ribbon, or you can do both and you get a bonus for that. So watch for that. Also, if you're not already on my email list, make sure you hop over and subscribe, because that is where you'll get dimensions for the project that I'm doing tonight. So the dimensions will be in next week's email. Other than that, my next class is July 11th, and so I always send myself a catalog so that I have an idea of when they're coming out for people. Mine came today. So if you don't see yours within the next week, let me know and I'll check into it. And I want to make sure that everybody who wants one gets one. And we talked about product shares. I also, tonight is the last week in the series that will include the card kits for my Facebook Lives about masking. So if you would like to receive the card kits from tonight's card and the last 2 Thursdays, then what you do is put in an order on my online store and use the host code that I will pop into the description of this video afterwards. It starts with an, nope, don't see it on here. I thought it started with an N. There we go. Yep, NFK. So look for that. And then at the end of the month, then I will send you card kits so that you can make your own version of these projects. And part of my goal with these projects is that you don't have to have a certain stamp set or a certain color. You can use whatever you like, but you can adapt my layout or my technique to what you have. So that is coming up. And then the registration for Sending Good Thoughts Paper Pumpkin is open right now through July 10th. You'll make 9 cards, get a stamp set, ink, and then all of the twine and glue dots and dimensionals and printed paper and die cuts and everything. Hey, Aunt Pat, thank you for being here. So I think it's going to be a really cute kit. The theme is some nautical imagery, message in a bottle kind of thing. And I think that it will also coordinate with our bottle punch, vintage bottle punch. I can't remember what it's called, but it is what I used for my class to go for this month. So the registration for this has closed. Oh, how do I get this up here? Oh, there we go. That one doesn't even have a bottle on it, but this one does. So you can see the bottle is super fun, and there's also a little one. So if you missed this class, you can still get the PDF. So let me know if you would like that. And like I said, it coordinates with the new paper pumpkin. So that's a little bit added value for your punch if you did invest in that already. So I'm going to go ahead and flip my camera. There we go. All right. So this is what we are making tonight. And I am just gonna turn off that overhead light now. And I have Pat winning for sharing last week. I think I might have my weeks backward. And then Ellie for sharing the other time, whichever order that went in. So congratulations, ladies. I will get these things out to you. And this is the new catalog and the celebration special starts January or July. I don't know why I seem to think that we're going into January. Maybe it's wishful thinking. But the celebration starts July 1st, and I can't show you the insides, but I can show you some fun things that are in it that I've already gotten. So I'll do that in a little while. But I first want to get to the cards. So as usual, I have made 3 cards that basically use the same technique and same layout. So let me just show you these little cuties. These are coming in celebration. So there's this whole stamp set with the hippos and a whole set of dies. So you can get both the stamps and the dies for a $100 purchase, but you get them separately, if that makes sense. So for a $50 purchase, you get one, and then another 50 and you get the other. So I thought they were so stinking cute. And I don't know, I think maybe I'm cutesier than I thought I was. But anyway, so this card was really fun, and you can see I popped up the center image for this one. And then this one, I used Garden Grandeur, I believe, which is a host set in the annual catalog. And this flower is so pretty. And then I just took the color combination directly from the designer series paper that I wanted to use. So, and then, got to get a little stamp on the inside. So that's that one. And then this is the one that we are actually going to make tonight. And this used the Artfully Layered stamp set that is retiring at the end of the month. And I haven't checked today, but hopefully it is actually still available. I know we've run out of some things. So, all right. This is our masking paper. It comes in these 5x7 sheets, and there are 12 of them, and you can get a ton out of each individual sheet. So that's really nice. And then on the back, it splits. So it helps you know which is the front and which is the back, which is nice. And this is that stamp set that we're going to use. So I think it's got really lovely fonts and sentiments. And then the images are nice too. So I really like this leaf. It does have a coordinating die set, but we're not using it tonight. So as far as the actual card goes, I'm using the coordinating designer series paper, but I decided to use the polka dot side just because that's what I felt like doing. And I'm going to adhere this to my card front. My card front is Evening Evergreen. And we will just center this up vertically. And then if it's too long, I want to get all this stuff out of the way. I want to make sure that it's flush on one side so that I can trim it off on just one side if I need to. But first, it helps to get it on straight, which is where liquid glue is really nice. So let's try this again. I don't know, that still looks kind of crooked to me. Maybe not. I think we're going to call it good. So there is that. And then I am just going to throw it on my paper trimmer quickly because I always feel like when I try to cut that long of a piece with scissors, it ends up being very obvious that I took scissors too. So there is that. And I did stamp the inside, so we'll do that first here. I'm glad you like the hippos. We had a hippo set in the last annual catalog and they retired them. And they were very cute, but I didn't use them a ton because it's just not where I typically go with card making. Like, I don't have that many kids that I'm trying to make cards for, and I felt like it was very kid friendly. However, um, these hippos are slightly larger than the old ones, and there's like a bathtub and I don't know, all sorts of cute stuff. So I just decided that I was going to have a lot of fun with it. And they're really good for coloring too, which is nice. So get this in here. So my very bestest friend in the whole world that I've been friends with since grade school or junior high or sometime is here in town with me right now. And it has been the very nicest time that I could have even dreamed of. So it's been such a nice week, and she gets to stay for a few more days. So we're having a lot of fun in spite of crazy heat. And she's also here to learn things. She's at the Suzuki Training Institute, which is very, it sounds hard to me. So I give her a lot of credit for all of the work that she does learning how to teach. All right, so there is the panel that's going to go on here. So it will end up just like that. And now we're going to make our mask. And it really doesn't matter how well inked up it is, but we'll do a good job. Okay, I'm going to close my ink pad because for the moment, we don't need it open and I don't want it to dry out or stick my hand in it or something. So yeah, she also bought my children, you may have heard of this game. I can't even remember exactly what it's called, but it's a game with the Harry Potter jelly beans. And so you spin the wheel and you either get something delicious or something disgusting. And poor Sarah, I think she got something disgusting on every round. John is so dramatic that who knows whether his were actually good or not. He made it sound like they were terrible. So that was entertaining. And Emily, I'm not sure that she even is able to tell if it's good or not. She didn't look totally pleased, but she never said it was actually bad. So kids are funny. But you might notice that I'm in a fluffy jacket, which, having said that it's 100 degrees outside here, does not make sense. But our basement stays so cold that anytime I come down here, I have to dress up. And I've got sandals on. My toes are cold right now. So it's nice to have a little getaway from the summer heat. But we went to a national monument in northwestern Utah. No, sorry, northeastern Utah last weekend and got to see dinosaur quarry and learn all sorts of geology kinds of things and petroglyphs. Oh, you know what? I have to go back and trim this up because actually I need to trim right on the line, not leave a halo. So just fix that quickly. So anyway, it was such a wonderful vacation. And even though it was really, really hot, we had a really nice time hiking and just checking out a part of the state that Joe had really never spent time in other than for work. And Sarah and her husband were there with us, and I don't think that either of them had done that monument before, but we all have national parks passports, and so it makes it fun to try out different places and just make sure we get our stamp. So anyway, the dogs were cold. Oh my gosh. I will admit, 55 felt pretty cold in my bedroom this morning because my husband was running the fan, but I don't know that even I would have wanted to um, have the fireplace on. So your puppies are well loved, we'll say. So yeah, Sarah and I had actually talked about trying to go up to Golden Spike, which is like an hour north of where I am in the Salt Lake area. And it's another national monument that I have never been to. And I think it was actually deemed a national monument, maybe, well, since I've lived here, so sometime in the last 10 years. So hopefully we'll still get that done. But yeah, it's kind of incredible when you really start looking how many amazing things there are to go around and see that you might not pay attention to. And I'm not a fan of stopping on the side of the road for the like, little signs that they put out that aren't much more formal than just the sign. So, all right, we are almost done with the cutting out of our image. And so this is why using the die for this wouldn't have worked, because I need to not have any halo so that I get the next part right. So almost. Okay, I think that's gonna do it. So clean up all these little bits now. And if you recall from last week, I told you that this masking paper is actually quite sticky the first time you stick it. And so what we're going to want to do is get rid of some of the sticky. So you can use your shirt or your jeans or whatever, or even just the back of your hand works just fine. And just so that must have been right on the seam. There we go. Okay, so just going to use my hand. There we go. Peel this back up now. And then I just want to lay it exactly over my stamped image. So now that that's done, we can get back to our stamping. If I can, oh, there it goes. Okay, so for the side images, I'm actually going to flip the stamp so that it's upside down. And right on top of my mask. So right now you can see it looks messy. There's a lot going on right there. And then when I do this side, we will have the same kind of thing. So right now that looks chaotic and stressful and makes me a little anxious. But as we peel, if I can catch the edge, peel this mask back off. Now my stem tore. Sometimes, depending on how successful you are with this removal, you can use the mask 2 or 3 times. But with this one having all of the bronze and whatever, we're just going to tear it off and get it done. Maybe. Well, I didn't mean to shred this, you guys. You're seeing the not picture perfect side of crafting here. So congratulations. All right, we are getting closer though. And then you will see what a difference that masking made. So it really just gives this imagery some dimension because it looks like that center one is popping right off. And to make that center one even more special, what I will do is grab my Pear Pizzazz ink pad, which is a much lighter green, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of ink on this sponge and then add that only to my center leaf here. So there is that, and it really doesn't take much to get significant impact, but I did do a little bit more on the first one, so we'll just add a little more here. And I kind of want it to feather out so it's darker in the center and lighter towards the edges. So now that we have that, and actually these edges are part of the coordinating die set, and I am really, really sad that we didn't keep it because it is so cute. But that does remind me that I also need to re-ink, or not re-ink, but reopen my Evening Evergreen. When I stuck this on here, I felt like the white didn't stand out enough. I don't know if you can see that, but what I did, and I didn't want to make this a big deal, so I just stuck it right on my ink pad, and you can see it's just giving a teeny tiny little bit on that edge. And now we'll get this other side, and I don't need to do the top or the bottom of the panel because those line up with the Evening Evergreen. But as you can see, it just gives it a little bit more dimension there. So now I am going to go die cut that center leaf. Theoretically, I would have pulled out the die, but I didn't, so I gotta find that. Jonah's been playing baseball every Tuesday and Thursday evening, and it's not my normal thing, but I've actually had a whole lot of fun helping in the dugout and stuff. Those kids are so cute. So I'm glad you like this. So I'm pulling out my Stylish Shapes dies, and I just need to figure out which one I actually used. So it was second from largest, and run this through my cut and emboss quickly, and I'll be right back. And this is one of those things, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, you just kind of get it done, and people will just be drawn to all of the different levels and things. So, all right, now for this one, what I did was lay the cutout image all the way flat. So, because I want to make sure everything lines up properly, I am going to just set this on here to where I'm pretty sure it's straight. I think that'll do. And then line this up inside that window. Okay. That's about there. Okay. Make sure that's good and adhered. And now this part I'm going to pop up with dimensionals. And I really don't want it to sag around the this cutout part. So I am going to use more dimensionals than I might normally use. Try to get that on there without making it show through. So, all right, just pop off these pieces of backing paper. And this one, I also really wanted it to be more the masculine version of things. And so that's why there are no ribbons or rhinestones or any of those kinds of things. But certainly, if you have a woman in mind for this, or some men that like sparkles, then you could definitely add them. And I think that would be really fun as well. Okay, we're going to call that about as straight as we're going to get. And I already did the sentiment. What I did was stamped it in Versamark and then heat embossed with white powder. And the reason I did it ahead of time is because I figured that by this point we would have gotten close to our time. Now I'm trying to figure out which side is right because I did both. I think this side is crooked a little bit. So, okay. Seriously struggle with reversing images and upside down and inside out. But I think this is going to do it. And I did just set it to where it goes over the edge just a little bit. I'm going to straighten it up with that stitch line. And there is our card for this third night in our series on masking. So I hope that you have enjoyed this and learned some fun techniques, gotten some good ideas for everything. I'm just going to bring in the other two cards that we have done so that you know what you're getting if you decide that you want to get the card kits for these. So the kit will include all three of these cards, and then these are my other samples. So I am so grateful that you all were here, and it was fun to chat with you guys. I hope that you have a lovely night and a nice weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye. Oh, Janie, I'm always glad to make a card. So it's been a few days. This was really fun. It's good to see you. Bye.